You guys are almost done with your organizer. The nice thing about this organizer is if it is filled out using complete sentences, which is what we're working on, and we've talked about that in class, then your essay is almost completely finished. So how exciting is that? So big challenge for you is writing an intro. Before, you probably called it a hook. One of the things in 6th grade that really, really pushes and stretches your brain is having a strong introduction and conclusion. The introduction is basically what we need to write is a hook. Have you heard of a hook? Maybe, possibly. The hook does the same thing every hook in the entire universe does. What does a hook on a fishing pole do? Catches a fish. What does a hook in an essay do? Catches the reader and makes the reader want to read more. So there are several different kinds of hooks. I want to tell you a couple of them. Number 1 is a question hook. Ooh, it's very like, we're in middle school. We're not in elementary school. A question hook is, have you heard of land pollution? That is not appropriate for us. Another is a surprising fact. A surprising fact can be appropriate, especially in this situation. So I will allow you to use a surprising fact for this particular research paper. If there was a fact in your research that you found that just blew your mind, like how many fish die from plastic every year, or how much of the forest is gone, how many species of animals are averaging extinction or climate change. If there's a fact that you found that was really surprising to you, here is the place to put it. Because the surprising fact, the purpose of the surprising fact is to like wake the reader up, make the reader think, whoa, what? Is that real? Make sure you cite your source. You cannot just have a random fact. You cannot start with a fact that you've made up. You have to have a very reliable source, and you have to cite that source. Okay? We'll talk about how to cite the source in class and physically together, because I know we haven't done an in-text citation before. So, surprising fact is your first real option. Remember, question is something we've done in the past. We're not doing that anymore. The challenge, big challenge, is called an anecdote. An anecdote is a short story, and by short, I mean 3 to 4 sentences to connect the reader to your topic. It can be a story about you and your family going for a walk and seeing trash on the beach. It could be a story about if you in your research found a story of an animal that died due to pollution, or an animal who was displaced due to landfills, or an animal that's now extinct due to the emissions and the temperature change due to all of the emissions in our atmosphere. Those would all be stories that you could use at this time. And when I say short, I mean, how many sentences did I say? 2 to 3. We're not talking about a very long story. You could have, it could be up to 5, but you don't want to go more than 5 because you don't want the entire first paragraph to be distracting. You want to have the reader connect to the topic, but not distract from the topic. So the purpose of an anecdote is to have the reader find a personal connection to what you're about to tell them. So think about your topic. Think about your subtopic. Think about a story that you could potentially use, a personal story that you've had, a story that you've read throughout your research, and summarize it, super summarize it into just a few sentences. And that is the catching the reader's attention. That's step 4. Now we only have 1 step left. Step 5 is wrap it up. This is the other part of 6th grade that is a challenge, or middle school in general that's a challenge. So you're going to restate your thesis. You cannot copy and paste. You have to find your own words and change them, because your thesis is your own words. Get it? You have to come up with a different sentence with the same idea. Remember, you're going to keep your topic, and you're going to keep your subtopic, and you're going to keep the fact that it's a problem, and then you're going to restate it. Then you're going to restate your main points. Your main points, hey, category 1, category 2. Those are your main points. And then Uber challenge. Are you ready to really stretch your brain? Today is a stretch your brain kind of activity. Okay, so wrapping it up with a strong idea. There are some options. This is going to be one sentence, one statement. You want to finish strong. Whenever you're writing, you start with a connection, story, an anecdote, or a surprising fact, and then you want to finish strong. You want to start strong and finish strong. So some options for you. Actually, I would like to zero it down. I'm going to give you an overview of potential strong ideas for other essays, but then I'm going to tell you which one we're going to do for this. So your options are, you can start with a feeling. Your strong powerful ending could be a memory, a hope, a wish, a decision, or a lesson. We're going to stick with a hope and wish, and instead of hope and wish, we're going to do action. So if you want to challenge your reader to an action, to start solving the problem that you've explained, if you want to, you don't want to present any new information, so don't say, by picking up just 5 bottles a day, we can potentially reduce the plastic in the ocean by, you're not going to add extra information here. You're just going to challenge your reader to find a solution for your problem, okay? But you have to find a strong way to say it. Remember, strength in word choice. Your strength is in word choice. It should be some kind of a command, an imperative sentence. Do not use pronouns. And use action words. So that's your tips. Once you've put down your idea, remember this is your organizer, so this isn't a final draft, then we can go through and I can help you guys out. I hope this was helpful. I hope that brain feels nice and stretched today. It's like we did some brain yoga. I look forward to seeing you guys in class.